Aloha to everyone from Fuquay Varina, which is a small town just south of Raleigh. I did the Google Maps search a little bit ago. We're 4,800 miles away from you currently. I want to acknowledge all my classmates, everyone that's there, everyone that's on the Zoom land to be part of this today. Thank you so much for doing that. I'm sorry that I couldn't be there with you all, but much appreciated in what you're doing for this cohort of future fellow alums. And then specifically, I'd like to thank Bruce Tamble, Paul Tanaka, and the committee for this group that were very kind and gracious to invite me to speak on their behalf to you today. Let me say, though, that my speaking is a great honor and privilege to do on behalf of my teammates, any one of whom could be doing this talk and giving you their remarks this morning. It is nothing unique about me or anything, but it's a great privilege for me to do that. Now, you heard that I was a Special Forces officer, Green Beret, as we say, and then also went on to do cardiology. And that, let me just tell you that provided me a great bar trick in that I could kill you and then bring you back to life. And so that worked out pretty well to win beer bets. Well, talking to you all today is kind of a big deal. Number one, I can't see you. And this is a cohort with a great future ahead of you, right? You could be anything you want to be. You're still stem cells. And then the parents who are there guiding you the last little bit before you launch off to your post-high school career in your life after that. So kind of nerve-wracking thinking about what do I say to this group and how do I convey thoughts? You know, I could say anything, I could say nothing, and too nervous. So I talked to my brother, Bruce Campbell, and said, "Brother Bruce, what should I talk about?" And he said, "No worry, Joe. I'll let you talk 10 minutes. So before I do start my remarks, let me say, as a military man, I know we have a number of veterans among us here today. We're within a week now of celebrating the solemn federal holiday of Memorial Day. And what I'd ask is on that day, if not before, if you would take a second just to think about the men and women who have given their lives in defense of the ideals of freedom and democracy that has given us this great country that we have today. So if you would do that in general for everyone that's done it from the inception of our country over or close to 250 years ago to this very day, but then especially those from Hawaii who have given their lives, and then finally, especially for our brothers from Kalaipuhaku who have died in combat, again, for the ideas of freedom and democracy. May they rest in peace. And then finally, for those loved ones who shared those who have died for us, their wives and husbands and parents and children, that they have given and shared their great treasure, their loved one for this country. Let's hold them up honorably. So thank you very much for doing that or remembering to do that with this holiday coming up. So let me just say thank you so much for attending today's breakfast. All of our guests today, thank you so very much. In particular, to our young brothers, you made it through freshman year. Congratulations. I'm very, very excited for you. You're going to be a sophomore, and that should be exciting until you look in a dictionary and look at the definition of sophomore. And so you know a lot, you won't be the babies, but you really are, at some point in the year, you're going to realize there's so much more to know. And once you make that leap, you're going to be well on your way. But congratulations on getting through this first lap. Secondly, what I'd like you to do, you young brothers, is keep your eye on the prize. But that is what kind of man you wish to become, right? The prize is not the money lay at graduation, ulolo. That's not important. To the parents and guardians, what I want to share with you is to acknowledge that your investment in your son or your guardian, as tough as it is well worth it. What you are doing is you are giving them the lifelong gift of a foundation of the character of being a good man that they will carry with them for the rest of their lives. And I do know it is very, very hard. It is hard to come up with the funds to give someone an education when you could turn around and say, why couldn't I just send them to school X, Y, or Z and public funds pay for that? Why isn't that good enough? Now, let me just tell you, that is good. It's not bad, but you've made an extra step to give your son, your guardian, a St. Louis education. And God love you for that. Let me just tell you, hang in there when the going gets tough. It is well worth it. And now is probably not a good time to tell you that when we were at St. Louis, I think it was $1,200 for tuition. But I remember my kid brother was 5 years behind me, and the tuition had gone up to $1,800, and my folks just about blew their top. Right, so it is tough on whatever generation, whatever time you're in there. Tuition is a tough thing, but certainly proud of you for hanging in there to do that for them. So all boys school, right? Who does that anymore? What's the point of that? Let me just say that looking back, and for all of us, right? What I want you to pick up on is you're seeing a bunch of us that still remember each other, and we still love each other, and we still get together, and that is because of our St. Louis experience. The shared experience of this great education by the Marianist brothers and priests to give us something that gave us more than education. Now, from education alone, it prepared us for what followed, whether it was continuing education, or it was the military, or it was work, whatever it was. It gave us something that was really an intangible, strong benefit for all of us. I remember how the physical education instructors encouraged me to be a better person. It was often I would hear, "Hey, Caravalho, like run lap." That made me a better person. Or how the football coach gave me an honest assessment of my prowess on the gridiron. "Caravalho, he may be small, but he's slow." And that's how I knew I should leave football and pursue other interests in life. But here's what I thought St. Louis did for me. It brought many students together, and the shared experiences that we were all young boys, all adolescent boys. You can imagine that cauldron of post-pubescent testosterone was a tough way to work it. But because we're all together, and some of my brothers will remember this, that we realized, although half the class turned out for the football team, and that was kind of a stressful thing as well. But it wasn't just about sports. Drama could be just as important. Faith and integrity was just as important as social stature. That's what was important to make us good men. And so here's what it did produce. Now, looking back in the 50-year retrospective scope, we've all turned out to be good men. We've turned out to be inspiring men, caring men, thoughtful men, spiritual men, good husbands, good fathers, and good leaders. You see, it doesn't matter what you do in life. It matters who you are in life. But St. Louis also taught us the skills that I told you about, that God has prepared us for what followed. So academically, different kinds of stress, I think we did very well with that. I recall one moment as a junior at St. Louis, Brother Farrell, who was a tough guy, brother there. He brought me in, and oftentimes if he brought you into his office, it was to scold you, and that was the reason I was visiting with him. But afterwards, this is what I remember still now, he asked me rhetorically if I knew that I could be anything I wanted to be in life, And maybe my parents had asked me that before. Maybe they asked me that 100 times, but there's certain times in life where your mind has to be ready to receive it. Well, it happened to be ready at that moment. And I still remember Brother Farrell asked me that. And then I thought, wow, what would I want to be? I could dream about anything. And all I knew at that point is I liked helping people. And one thing led to another, and I ended up choosing to pursue medicine without knowing what that meant. And then long story short, I ended up in a career in military medicine, helping those who were defending our nation, spending some time in Iraq, helping the Minister of Health with their health system, helping folks who are doing high security work that no one knows about. I've had an amazing career. Thinking about the government's approach, or the Department of Defense's part of the government's approach to the Ebola outbreak in Africa, the Zika outbreak here recently, and then now what we're doing with this current pandemic, is all part of the foundational education and the character and integrity that was imbued upon me from my time at St. Louis. So now, for many of us, 50 years, and for our brothers who have passed away already, may they rest in peace. But for those of us still on this earth now, many of us are thinking about what our legacy will be. Have I helped my family? Have I helped my friends, my community, my state, my country, my world? Have I served God to the best of my ability? So I admire each and every one of my St. Louis classmates for the legacies they've created for themselves. I'm in awe of every one of them. And I just want to reiterate, I am just one person given the privilege of speaking to you all here today. Anyone could have given you a very similar story of how much they loved their time in St. Louis, how well it prepared them for life to follow, in whatever category and avenue they took. And now, I'm so very proud to have this opportunity to help the new generation of St. Louis men as they progress through the halls of St. Louis of Kalaipahaku on their way forward. My brothers and I will be here for you all in person and via asynchronous engagements. If there's anything we can do to help, please feel free to reach out to any one of us. So again, finally, St. Louis men, our future fellow alumni and brothers forever, congratulations on your successful freshman year. We all look forward to future engagements throughout the remaining 3 years of your time at St. Louis, and we look forward to giving you a hearty hug as you walk across the stage to receive your diploma in 3 years from now. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for your attention, and have a very nice rest of the day. And back to you, Paul.